Some shinobi are quite geniuses, some are patient strategists, and then there's the fourth Raikage, a man who crashes first and asks questions never, a walking tank of muscle, speed, and raw fury. The fourth Raikage, A, didn't just earn respect, he demanded it. But beneath the lightning armor and explosive temper is a complicated leader, a brother, a protector, and a warrior burdened by the weight of a divided world. In this analysis, we break down what makes the fourth Raikage such a standout figure in the Naruto universe. Not just his overwhelming power, but his politics, his pride, and his place in the shinobi world. This is the ultimate crash-out ninja. This is the fourth Raikage. The fourth Raikage's fighting style is as direct as his personality, fast, furious, and utterly relentless. He's one of the rare shinobi to master lightning release chakra mode, a high-speed technique that cloaks his entire body in a lightning aura. This enhances his speed, reflexes, and strength while hardening his body into a living shield. With this, A doesn't need fancy ninjutsu. He is the weapon. His barraging speed is legendary. At the 5 Kage summit, he dodged Amaterasu and closed the gap on Sasuke, even sacrificing his arm in the process. This wasn't just a show of strength. It was a statement he'd rather lose a limb than lose face or show weakness. That moment defined his fearless, no-nonsense approach to combat. The Liger Bomb, his signature technique, is taijutsu brutality at its finest. A lifts opponents overhead and slams them into the ground with enough force to level terrain. It's not flashy, it's decisive, fast, and devastating. But don't mistake his raw style for recklessness. A was trained to be a leader and honed his body over decades. His speed was said to rival even the Yellow Flash, Minato Namikaze. His reflexes, among the fastest in the world, precise, enough to react to attacks mid-swing. And while he relies on brute force, it's paired with discipline. A never wastes a movement, and every hit has intent behind it. His style may seem straightforward, but it's a result of years of intense training and battlefield experience. Despite his reckless appearance, A is highly trained. He was groomed from a young age as the successor of the third Raikage. His taijutsu is elite, and his reaction speed is rivaled only by legends. The fourth Raikage was the leader of the Hidden Cloud during one of the most politically unstable eras in shinobi history. And he ruled with the same intensity he brought to battle. From the moment he took office, A made it clear the Cloud would not be anyone's pawn. His leadership was grounded in strength, unity, and above all, pride. After years of conflict with other villages, he focused on rebuilding Kumo into a self-reliant military force. His strict policies and zero tolerance for weakness earned him the loyalty of his shinobi and the fear of his enemies. One of the defining aspects of his legacy is his relationship with Killer Bee, his adoptive younger brother and the Chunchuriki of the Eight Tails. While he initially tried to shelter Bee from danger, A eventually learned to trust him as an equal, a shift that marked one of the few times we see the Raikage grow beyond his stubbornness. That bond became symbolic of how strength in the shinobi world isn't just physical, it's emotional and rooted in trust. As the allied shinobi forces formed, A was one of the last to agree, reflecting his deep distrust of other villages. But once committed, he took the mantle of Supreme Commander, not because he was the wisest, but because he was the strongest and most decisive. His legacy isn't perfect. He was often impatient, occasionally irrational, and prone to anger. But in a world driven by chaos, that unwavering resolve was exactly what Kumo needed. A is explosive, impulsive, and often emotionally charged. He speaks with his fists before his words, and for much of Naruto, he's portrayed as aggressive, even irrational. He doesn't tolerate insubordination, despises weakness, and rarely backs down, even when doing so might be the smarter move. That fiery temperament makes him both an intimidating leader and a difficult ally. But this temperament stems from something deeper, a deep-rooted fear of vulnerability. A's aggression is a shield. Behind that blaster is a man who has lost comrades, who understands how fragile peace is and who refuses to let anyone threaten what he's built. This constant need to prove strength is a reaction to a world where weakness gets exploited. That's why when he clashes with Naruto during the 4th Great Ninja War, A wanted to stop Naruto from joining the battlefield, not out of caution, but because he didn't trust anyone who hadn't proved themselves in combat. It wasn't until Naruto physically pushed past him that A finally acknowledged his growth, a rare moment of humanity from a man who almost never bends. And while he cleverly loves his brother B, he struggled for years to show it properly. His initial overprotectiveness came from a place of love, but it often felt like control. It took losing B temporarily for A to truly recognize that trust is a two-way street. Ultimately, the 4th Raikage's flaws are what makes him human. He's not the smartest leader or most diplomatic, but he's real, raw, honest, and in a world full of masks and manipulation, that kind of transparency, even when it's tough, is rare. The 4th Raikage's most iconic moment went in speeches or politics. They were in the heart of battle. Every clash he entered became a showcase of his values, strength, pride, and almost reckless courage. His most famous fight is undoubtedly against Sasuke Uchiha at the 5 Kage Summit. Fueled by rage and a desire to defend the political integrity of the summit, A charges headfirst at Sasuke, holding nothing back. Even when confronted with Amaterasu, the flame said to never extinguish, A doesn't flinch. Instead, he sacrifices his own arm to land a hit. It's a brutal, unforgettable moment that tells you everything about him. Pain means nothing if pride is on the line. Then there's the rival with Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash. Though we never see them fight extensively, A admits Minato was the one shinobi he could never beat. What's telling is that he respected Minato not because of brute strength, but because Minato was calm, precise, and always one step ahead. It's one of the few acknowledgements from A that speed alone isn't everything, and that even the strongest hit means little if it never lands. He also battles Naruto during the war, not out of hatred, but out of duty. A tries to stop Naruto from joining the battlefield, but when Naruto proves he can match his speed, A relents. That moment isn't just about physical prowess, it's about the Raikage recognizing a new generation's right to fight for peace. In conclusion, the 4th Raikage was never the calmest, nor the most diplomatic. He didn't lead through charisma or cleverness. He led by being a wall, one that refused to break, bend, or back down. In a shinobi world full of shadows, deception, and long games, A stood tall as something rare, a man who meant every word, every punch, every choice. Was he flawed? Absolutely. But those flaws made him real. A brother, a leader, and a warrior who bore the weight of a village on muscle and will alone.